Going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Davis Does Weather live stream. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Currently, we are watching an ongoing severe weather outbreak unfold across sections of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Arkansas, even portions of Georgia are going to be getting in on this event with some thunderstorms, including the potential for damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour, some hail, and maybe even a few strong tornadoes. So let me go ahead and catch my breath here. I did just kind of run in here to get everything set up, and we will get right into this. How's everybody doing today? Kind of want to let a few people tune in here before we really get into the coverage aspect of this stream, but we will get going here within the next few minutes. How's everybody doing? What's up, Killa, Cookie, Indiana? Hope everybody's having an amazing day here. Again, we'll get into the synopsis and everything here in just a second. I've got to get a couple of things set up. Oops. What's up, Kansas Weather Watchers? Okay, let me get chat up on a separate tab here, and we should be good to go. So, what's going on, everybody? Again, we are here with a potential tornado outbreak today, really, across sections of Dixie Alley. From what we've been seeing here over the past couple of hours, we could be talking about a full-blown tornado outbreak across sections of Dixie Alley for sure. We've got an enhanced risk of severe weather driven by a 10% hatch threat for tornadoes, going everywhere from sections of northeastern Louisiana all the way back in through areas like Alabama here. We're talking about that threat for a few tornadoes being on the stronger side of things. We already have seen a tornado today earlier. It was close to the Richton, Mississippi area, I do believe, and I actually think that it is the same cell that we do still have going here. We do have storm chasers Corey Gherkin and Brandon Kopic on this storm. Currently, this storm is broadly rotating as it approaches the Highway 45 area near Errett, but as of right now, it's not too much of a concern, at least not as much as it was earlier. We have all these little discrete supercells firing off today across sections of southeast Mississippi and southwestern Alabama, and that has promoted the tornado threat to be much greater than we were originally thinking. Again, we do have that 10% hatch tornado risk in play for today, but we were mainly thinking that it was going to be more of an isolated strong tornado threat and that this was going to be more of a damaging wind event more than anything else. I just noticed that this is broken, so let's go ahead and fix that. But we are having what could be, again, a full-scale tornado outbreak. We definitely have that potential to see a few strong tornadoes today. Again, I would not be shocked to see a big-time mesoscale convective system move through portions of Dixie Alley later this evening. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this. I don't know why this is doing this, but again, we've got ourselves quite the day to watch here. In the area just above my camera, you can see we've got that little mesoscale discussion for sections of Mississippi and Alabama. We can see that it states the specifics with our severe weather threat for today. We can see that we're talking about tornadoes that could be on the stronger side of things. Again, the maximum, reasonable range or whatever it's called is 120 miles an hour to 150 mile an hour wind gusts, which, that would be pretty significant if we were to see tornadoes to that magnitude today, because those are very strong and even close to violent tornadoes. But, take that all with a grain of salt, all right? Those are not set in stone whatsoever. Those are just a rough estimate put out by the Storm Prediction Center. We are going to be talking about damaging winds to a significant degree, anywhere up to 80 miles per hour potentially in localized regions, as again, we are going to have an MCS and potentially even a little mini derecho event move through sections of Dixie Alley later this evening, and that's already starting to build as well, so we'll kind of talk about that more in a minute. And then we also do have a threat for isolated hail up to ping pong and maybe even up to golf ball size today, especially across areas like Louisiana and Mississippi. So let me go ahead and share this stream with as many people as possible. I encourage you guys to do the same. Again, we've got ourselves a big time severe weather outbreak, and again, potentially tornado outbreak unfolding as we speak. We have been seeing tornado warnings out the wazoo over the past couple of hours, but of course, the second I'm finally able to go live, all of those tornado warnings have dissipated. They've all been canceled. They've all expired. Again, we only had one tornado, luckily, so far that has been confirmed, but it was quite a strong one, and it was near the Richton, Mississippi area. Again, it's the same supercell that we have just south of the Waynesboro area right now. Earlier, this had much stronger rotation. As you can see, we had very tight and significant velocities there over the Richton, Mississippi area. We did not have a debris signature or anything, but it was confirmed by a chaser, and again, it was a very ominous-looking storm from the surface level. But the good news is that this did not directly impact downtown Richton, Mississippi, that we know of, but we're still getting reports, so again, make sure to stay tuned in if you are interested in updates on that, because we'll certainly be giving you guys those throughout the stream here. So again, let me go ahead and get an X post out for this. If you know anybody down here in the Deep South today, make sure to send them this stream, because we are going to be doing coverage here for a good chunk of the afternoon and evening time hours today, even into the early nighttime hours, as we could be talking about significant damaging winds taking over at that point of, again, anywhere from really 70 all the way up to 80, maybe even 85 miles an hour at times. So again, big time severe weather event unfolding today. Again, we've got all the aspects in play here. We're talking about tornadoes, wind, hail, and they're all significant threats as well. You know, it's not like we're talking about the threat for a brief spin up like we have been in a lot of our events recently. This is the real deal. We have got ourselves, again, an enhanced risk of severe weather that got put in place just this morning. I did talk about this the other day. I was saying, you know, maybe they'd issue a enhanced risk of severe weather for wind and just maybe a tornado threat. I did not expect them to throw in that tornado threat at the 10% hatch level. I definitely did not expect that. And even more shockingly, NATOcast. All right, now NATOcast, if you don't know, is an AI severe weather forecasting tool. Take it all with a grain of salt. It is not set in stone or anything. You should rely on the SPC first, certainly. But NATOcast is throwing out one of the more aggressive outlooks that we've seen in a while. It is showing a 30% hatch tornado risk across sections of Alabama, which, if you don't know, if this were the SPC scale, that would put this at a high risk of severe weather. That little pink zone there, that is the 30% tornado risk according to NATOcast. Now, again, take this all with a grain of salt. Usually NATOcast is not nearly as reliable for events like this as the Storm Prediction Center is, but sometimes they do have some shockingly accurate predictions, so I would not be shocked to see a few significant tornadoes in Alabama today. Speaking of which, we did just get our first tornado warning of the stream, I believe. It has just disappeared, but it should pop back up here in a second. I think we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty there, but if I can go ahead and get a X post out about this stream really quickly. Again, if you guys can share the stream, please do be sure to do so, because that helps me out a lot, and it also helps other people that need this coverage. So we do have a tornado warning now for the Louisiana-Mississippi state line. Let me go ahead and get everything updated here. Let's go ahead and go on to our brand new tornado warning layout. Look at that. Unfortunately, I did not have things ready whatsoever. So let's go ahead and fix that very quickly. Again, this is going to take me a second just to get set up here, and it's probably not going to be perfect, but, you know, whatever is. Let's see. Can we shrink that down? There we go. Beautiful. Then we shrink that down. This is, again, very on the fly. I did not have the tornado warning layout prepared. Unfortunately, again, I kind of just got ready last second here. Again, we got to fix this up kind of quickly, though, because we do have to get right back into coverage. Again, some may say it would have been smarter to do this kind of stuff before stream, and I did. I did that for the severe warning layout, and that I did not have enough time to do the tornado warning layout. But there we go. All right, so that's what we're just going to have to work with for now. But, well, shoot, that looks terrible. Let's just get rid of the lines in general so that they don't look nearly as messy. Okay. Anyway, we do have a tornado warning in effect now for sections of Louisiana and Mississippi. This is for the Kirkland, Mississippi area. This is for Hackley, Louisiana. If you're in this area, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. We do have this little baby supercell here that has been developing over the past few scans. I actually did see this just a few minutes ago before we started the stream. Look at that nasty hook echo there. Look at that clear inflow notch into the storm. This is a very nasty little baby supercell, and it definitely could produce at least a landspout at any minute. So again, if you are in this area, make sure to seek shelter immediately. This includes rural portions of Louisiana and Mississippi here, just southeast of the Tylertown area. So again, make sure to stay safe if you are out here in this region. So again, we've got ourselves a brand new tornado warning in effect. If you are just now tuning in, this is for the Louisiana-Mississippi state line here. This is for Flowers, Dexter, Kirkland, and Hackley, right up along the Mississippi-Louisiana state line. Once again, we've got very tight rotation with this storm here. No signs of an ongoing tornado, but I would not be surprised to see one start at any minute. So again, make sure you're getting in your safe spot underground if you can. If you can't, just make sure that you're getting indoors, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible. If you can, try to get into like an interior bathroom or something like that. That's usually the best thing to do in a situation like this, right? So give me just a second here. Let's make sure that everything is going good. Yeah, very discreet supercell here. It's got a lot of an environment to work with. It's got a couple thousand joules per kilogram of CAPE. It's got decent wind shear out here in this area. This is definitely a cell that I could see producing a tornado within the next several minutes if it does continue down this track. So definitely something to look out for. Whoops. Just give me just a second, sorry. Again, still kind of preparing everything here. Okay. Okay, how's it going, everybody? What's up, Gooseman? Well, they don't issue tornado warnings for cells that aren't rotating, Kevin, so... Yes, there is velocity overlap in the inflow notch, but there's definitely some rotation here, at the very least. Even if it's just broad. But anyway, we mentioned the idea that we could have a potential MCS and kind of mini derecho. What's going on, Sam? Thank you for the donation. $2 donation from Sam there. Let's get some W-Sams in the chat. Today looked more concerning than Saturday for tornadoes. I don't know if I'd go that far, and we are going to talk about Saturday later, but I do greatly appreciate the donation. Donations are optional, guys, but I do really appreciate the folks that go above and beyond and do decide to click that dono button. So thank you very much to Sam for your generosity. Let's go ahead and throw you right up there on the donation board. And let's get right back into the coverage here. We need to have like an automatic system for this so that I don't have to exit Radar Omega every single time. It's getting a little tiring. But anyways, we work with what we got here. But again, tornado warning has been issued for the Louisiana-Mississippi state line. We've got ourselves some significant velocities there with this supercell. So again, if you're in this area, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Let's see, our storm that Corey Gherkin's on, again, this did previously produce a tornado just several minutes ago, unwarned. This is now over the Buckatuna area. This is now warned for some 60-mile-an-hour damaging wind gusts, and it does have the tornado possible tag on it. But that does not mean a tornado is imminent with this storm. It just means that one could develop down the line, right? So, again, our little MCS event that we are going to be talking about as we go later into this evening is now developing across sections of Louisiana and Mississippi. If we take a look at the HRRR model future track here on the composite reflectivity, we can see that this will eventually develop into a big-time line of storms here. By 5 p.m., we're actually mainly going to be talking about a damaging wind threat. Sure, we could still be dealing with a few tornadoes down in areas like southeast Mississippi and far southwestern Alabama, but I think we're mainly going to be focused in on damaging winds at this point, all right? This is going to continue to grow throughout the nighttime hours, and by 8 p.m., we could still be talking about damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. Now, the catch is there will be breaks in this line, and in an environment like this where we have plenty of wind shear and a decent amount of cape, if there are breaks in this line, we do have discrete supercells developing out of that. That could be a problem for tornadoes. But again, mainly going to be a damaging wind threat throughout the late nighttime hours tonight. By 3 a.m., we're still dealing with damaging winds all the way from areas like the Carolinas back through portions of the Florida Panhandle here. And this will even last into area time frames like tomorrow morning. The Storm Prediction Center has now issued a marginal risk of severe weather tomorrow morning across sections of Florida and Georgia for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour and maybe an isolated tornado or two, but it's not going to be anything too significant. We may see a slight risk get put in place or something like that for damaging winds. But again, for right now, we're focused in on a tornado threat. Again, a tornado warning has been issued for portions of southern Mississippi here. This is just southeast of Tylertown. Yeah, guys, I'm not going to go specific enough to say, oh, we're going to see a high risk, or, oh, we're going to see a moderate risk, or no, we're going to stick with an enhanced risk on Saturday. Saturday, there are too many variables to deal with at this point, to the point where we can say that there's a definitive risk that we're likely going to end up seeing. If I had to guess, I would say probably an enhanced risk they're going to stick with, but I can't guarantee that. I would not be shocked to see an upgrade to a moderate either. A high risk, I think, is a little bit out of the question, but again, that's not really our primary point of concern for today, as this can change just depending on the uptrends and downtrends with the forecast for this system over the next several days. So just stay aware, be prepared. Saturday looks like it's going to be a massive severe weather and potentially tornado outbreak. I think that's all that need be said at this point, but it does look like this could be a significant event. So you guys that are getting impacted by severe weather today, just know that it is not over. We are unfortunately in a very active pattern where you're going to be seeing outbreak after outbreak after outbreak, and on Saturday it's just another outbreak in the chain. I mean, again, we're going to be talking about that throughout for some strong tornadoes, some significant damaging winds as well, so make sure to be on the lookout for Saturday. It's going to be a big day, and you're going to hear a lot of folks talking about that in the weather community over the next several days. Now, unfortunately, I am not going to be able to go live for this event. I know it's very sad, but I am going to be going to National Storm Chaser Summit in Overland Park, Kansas, so unfortunately, I am not going to be able to cover this event live, which is very upsetting, because this is going to be potentially the biggest tornado outbreak that we've had so far this year. But just know that there are plenty of folks out there that are going to be doing a great job covering this event. I encourage you guys, as always, to check out a smaller creator, but obviously the big ones are going to be doing their stuff as well. Ryan Hull, Max Velocity, obviously great choices. You've got other folks out there doing the same exact kind of stuff that we do here. So if you are an avid viewer of this channel, just know whenever we go off and we're not able to go for, we're not able to cover events like this, just know that there there are other options out there, right? So again, all I'm going to say as of right now is that this does look like it could be a very significant event. I will say if we want to see a crazy tornado threat, storm mode and Cape need to clean up here a little bit. But anyways, what's up, Mr. Storm? Yeah, we're not seeing a high risk from this event unless something crazy changes with the forecast. But for right now, again, let's kind of focus in on the event that we've got ongoing. I bet tomorrow they'll upgrade it to moderate. It's possible. I don't know, though. Sometimes they wait till last minute to make decisions like that just because this is still, again, a fairly uncertain event. We don't know everything that's going to happen with it, and we certainly aren't going to know for a couple more days either. So again, 1 tornado warning and 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now across sections of Mississippi and Alabama. We do have a little bit of rotation in our line of storms approaching Brookhaven, Mississippi. This storm does have the tornado possible tag on it, and it's continuing to ride over Highway 84. It is warned for 60-mile-an-hour damaging winds, but I would not be surprised to see that get pushed up to 70. This moved through the Bude, Mississippi area just a few moments ago, which obviously did get hit by a very significant tornado a couple of months ago, and that did end up downing some trees and power lines, it looks like, in the Bude area. So in that storm, wow, what a timing. Literally the exact minute we mentioned that gets a tornado warning. So we do have a new tornado warning for Brookhaven, Wesson, and Georgetown, Mississippi. If you're in this area, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, and in an interior room. Again, if you got like a basement or something like that, that's the best place to go to. If you can't, just a bathroom or a closet in the middle of your house. Again, try to cover your head. The way that people get hurt in situations like this is you see flying debris, and that ends up hitting you in the head or, you know, in the skull or something like that. I mean, a lot of people think, you know, the tornado picks you up, it sucks you up into there, and you go flying away. That's not what happens. This is not the Wizard of Oz, but there are legitimate threats with tornadoes, obviously. Again, we are going to be talking about significant property damage, so if you do happen to potentially have to leave your property after a tornado strikes, if there's like a fire or something else significant that, you know, ignites because of that, make sure that you're prepared. Make sure that you got shoes on, you got clothes on, you're doing everything right. Again, I know we're starting to kind of get into rush hour here across sections of Mississippi, so if you may know anybody traveling along I-55 near Brookhaven, Mississippi, make sure to let them know that this is coming their way and that they need to get off and take shelter if possible. So again, tornado warning has just now been issued there for sections of western Mississippi. This is for portions of Copia, Lincoln, and Lawrence counties. Let's go ahead and get that warning. Oh, I already did. I couldn't remember if I did or not. Okay. So again, let's go back down to our other tornado warning here just southwest of Columbia. Currently broadly rotating there near the Flowers area. Again, it's not a super intense supercell at the moment, but it does have that classic hook echo shape to it, but it was more impressive a couple of scans ago there, once again, whenever it was kind of closer to the Hackley, Louisiana area. But as it continues to push northeastward, it is going to be able to take advantage of significant wind shear out in this area, so we'll see what happens. But for right now, we only have the one confirmed tornado from today, and again, that was from the Richton, Mississippi area. We had intense rotation on a supercell, and it is confirmed that we at least briefly produced a tornado. I'm going to warn everybody right now, this is just a little warning. Again, it's not serious or anything, but we're not doing this stupid stuff where we get into arguments over dumb reasons. Again, we've got an important job to do here today, so we want to make sure that, as the little pin message says, we keep things on topic, we keep things respectful, and we do try to keep things informative. Again, our job here today is not to argue over what's going to happen on a future event. It is talking about what's ongoing now and how we can get these folks that are in this situation through this. So again, we're not gonna really tolerate that kind of stuff today. If we do see any of that going on, we do unfortunately have to remove some people from the chat. But anyway, again, more discrete supercells are developing here. I mean, just look at this. These are the past 75 frames across this region. Look at all those little baby supercells that have developed. That is such a beautiful thing to see. Again, this was around noon. This was around lunchtime. All those little supercells there, that Gulf of Mexico moisture pumping up. Again, all those little supercells have fired within the last couple of hours. And again, some of them may produce tornadoes. Some of them may do nothing. It's all going to come down to the specific cell. Again, we can't tell you what houses specifically are going to get hit by tornadoes. tornadoes. We can't tell you what streets the tornadoes are going to go down, but we can tell you a general area where we think that there could be a decent severe weather threat and give you specifics whenever the situation is ongoing, right? All right, see you, Sam. Thank you for tuning in again. Thank you for the donation. Tornado on the ground on Corey Gherkin's stream? It would not surprise me because this cell has previously produced a tornado. Let's see. We're not going to bring this up for too long. There's nothing confirmed. Oh, yes, there is. Ground circulation. Okay, we do have a tornado on the ground. Wow. Oh, wait. What is going on? Look at that. Wow. We got a little baby tornado there. Alright, we have a tornado on the ground now, folks. This is a significant situation because this is an unwarned tornado. If you're in this area, seek shelter. Give me just a sec. This is a tornado over the Copeland, Mississippi area. Or, excuse me, the Copeland, Alabama area. Right along the Mississippi-Alabama state line here, we do have a little bit of a rope tornado that has managed to develop there with this supercell. So if you're in Barlow, Mahaffey, Shady Grove, or Millry, Alabama, seek shelter immediately. This is an ongoing tornado, and you need to get to your safe spot as soon as possible. Again, preferably underground, but if you can't get underground, get on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, and you need to get into an interior room. In situations where we have these tornadoes touch down and unfortunately go through populated areas, what we end up seeing is the one room that stands, if there is a room left standing after a tornado, it is the room in the middle of the house. It's always the bathroom or the closet or something like that, right? You want to put yourself away from the outside world as far as possible. You want to get away from all of the exterior walls of your house, if that makes any sense. So give me just a second here. I'm trying to get the title updated and everything. Just realized I never even got a tweet out. I got distracted. Okay. Alrighty, so again, tornado on the ground as we speak here. If you're in this area, seek shelter immediately. This is going to continue to push northeastward likely. It's going to move towards the Millry area, as well as Barlow and Copeland. So I'm going to kind of say here, since they don't have a tornado warning polygon out, we'll kind of draw one out here. If you're in this general region, you should be getting to your safe spot immediately. So that definitely includes Copeland, Mahaffey, Shady Grove, Fighty, however you pronounce that, Barlow, and Millry. If you're in like Coetan or Yarbo, you've got a couple of minutes, but still try to get to your safe spot as soon as possible. That is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Okay. Give me just a second here. PA Storm Trackers actually did just go live. They're just doing a live in chat, but it's probably best to have a chaser up there rather than nothing. So let's go ahead and get that fixed up here. Give me just a second, guys. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this up here on the browser tab. Give me just a second. Sorry, we're kind of doing this on the fly here. If you're just now tuning in, we do have a current tornado on the ground in far southwest Alabama. We're trying to get a storm chaser up here. Properties. We need to have the link in there. Okay. Go ahead and interact with that. Full screen it. Again, they literally just went live, so that's why we didn't have this set up before, if you're wondering. For some reason, I cannot full screen, so that is very fun. Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, we'll keep that up there anyway, obviously. And we'll go ahead and throw that right above my head. Again, sorry, we're kind of doing this on the fly, but sometimes it just works out like that. I really want to see if we can full screen that. Well, there's theater mode. Oh, there we go. Okay. So they're actually on their way to National Storm Chaser Summit. Again, they're not chasing today, but it's still interesting to see what's going on in their neck of the woods because they are actually traveling through the Ohio Valley right now, which is seeing the significant winter storm threat from this event. Right now, we do have a big-time winter storm bringing a few inches of snow to sections of the Midwest and then also portions of the Ohio Valley. Give me just a sec here. Okay. Kind of want to get these red lines back up. Yeah, we do have a tornado on the ground, and we will get back to that in just a second here, but we've got to try to get everything working at the moment. Whoops. Yeah, we're just going to get rid of that. Don't know what happened there. Okay. Let's try to move this out. And let's tilt that to the side. There we go. Looks perfect. Okay. Alright, so let's get back here to our severe weather coverage. Again, a tornado ongoing now in southwestern Alabama, unwarned. This is nearing the town of Copeland. It's going to be moving towards Barlow and Cowenton over the next couple of minutes. Likely near the Fitty area, or Fitty area. Again, however you pronounce that there. Again, make sure that you're getting to your safe spot immediately. That's an ongoing tornado. We still have a tornado warning in effect for Brookhaven, Mississippi. We've got some crazy contamination ongoing here with our velocities. But if you're in this area, make sure that you're getting to your safe spot. I know that we had a tornado warning earlier for Brookhaven, but again, this is a new one here. Even if you're not going to see a tornado from this, you are going to end up seeing significant damaging winds from this QLCS that we have ongoing right now. So again, if you're in this area, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. This is going to continue to ride Highway 84 as it continues to push eastward. Again, right now our rotation on the north side of Brookhaven, Mississippi, moving towards Friendship and Carlos. No definitive tornado on the ground at this time, but that does not mean that one will not touch down within the next couple of minutes. So again, if you're in this area, please seek shelter. They have let our tornado warning down further to the south expire for portions of extreme southern Mississippi there, but we do still have some broad rotation with that supercell as it approaches Columbia, Mississippi. So if you're in Columbia, just be prepared here over the next couple of minutes. You're going to see some rain, some wind, some lightning, but luckily at this point it looks like the tornadic threat with that storm has diminished. So let's go ahead and take our tornado warning count down back to 1. I feel like we've spent more time out of tab this stream than in tab so far. But yeah, again, tornado warning there for Brookhaven. Again, that rotation mainly being on the north side of town. But again, everybody in the polygon needs to seek shelter immediately, because what's going to end up happening is if we do see a tornado touch down here on the north side of Brookhaven, we always see that debris from the getting picked up by the tornado. It gets flung even miles away from where the actual tornado is. So even if the tornado is ongoing on the north side of Brookhaven, we could be seeing debris, just west of Woolworth if it were a strong enough tornado. So again, we've got to make sure that everybody in this polygon is taking things as seriously as possible. You don't have anything to lose if you just take shelter for a few minutes, but if you don't take shelter, you could potentially end up losing a lot. So again, please, please, please make sure that you're taking the tornado warning seriously. Again, I know a lot of people down here think, I've been under a tornado warning 30 separate times and nothing's ever happened. Well, you don't want that 31st time to be the time that it does and you're not taking shelter. That's not what we want, and that's not what you want. So again, please just take the warning seriously and get to your safe spot. Again, rotation just north of Pearl Haven, Mississippi. So on the far north side of Brookhaven there. We have had this mesoscale discussion in effect for a while now, and we had this up at the beginning of the stream, but they have mentioned that the greatest tornado threat throughout the entirety of this event is likely going to be over the next couple of hours across southeastern Mississippi and far southwest Alabama, and I've kind of got to agree with them on that. This is where we've got the greatest amount of cape and wind shear overlap. If we take a look at the significant tornado parameter values as well, actually, we can see that they are getting up there. We can see that we've got values getting, close to even like 6 or 7 in portions of Mississippi, even within the next couple of hours or so, right? If we take a look at this here, we can see that we've got a 4.8 at 5 p.m. Now, again, obviously, you should not take the exact area that it's over as gospel. Again, that is just an estimation based on radar. Hey, Mayday, thank you for the $10 dono. Have a great rest of your week. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. Awesome. Let's get some W Maydays in the chat. That is awesome stuff. Thank you very much. You obviously have helped out so much with this channel, just in terms of donations and everything, so I really do appreciate that. Again, we try to do our best here. We do severe weather, winter storm, and hurricane coverage every day of the year if necessary. So again, make sure to click that subscribe button because we're here for events that other people aren't for sometimes, right? Sometimes we are the only channel live on all of YouTube, and a tornado will touch down, and we will be here for it 99% of the time, right? So again, really do appreciate that donation. It helps me know that this will be a potential career option for me in the future, and that is just all around awesome stuff. Again, W Mayday in the chat. But again, right now, we have to focus in, unfortunately, on our tornado warning that we do have in effect for sections of southern Mississippi here. This is for the Brookhaven area, Wesson as well. Again, this is just northwest of Monticello at this point on the far north side of Brookhaven. We've got some broad rotation there with our QLCS that we have ongoing moving through the city. So again, even if you don't end up seeing a tornado with that, you are going to see some significant damaging winds. We do have some storms in the Hattiesburg, Mississippi area, and currently those are not rotating, but broadly. Again, that rotation there just southwest of Columbia that was previously tornado warned is definitely still going. A little surprised they canceled the warning, to be honest, but there it is. Again, got a little baby supercell there over the southwest side of Columbia at the moment, and that'll push northeast over the next couple of minutes here. Yeah, Saturday will certainly be very interesting. Again, unfortunately, very sadly, we will not be able to go live here on this channel for it because I am going to be at National Storm Chaser Summit, but I will try to be getting updates out for you guys as frequently as possible. But again, it looks like this could be the biggest outbreak of the year thus far, and potentially, as the year, of the year as a whole. I mean, I don't want to say that just yet, obviously, because we've still got 10 months to go, but it looks like it could be up there for some of the bigger events that we've seen in recent history. So again, make sure to stay tuned in this channel because even though we're not going to be live for that event in particular, we're going to be giving you guys updates every single day. Alright, so again, still some rotation there south of Columbia, Mississippi. If you're not aware, we did just have a tornado touchdown on the Mississippi-Alabama state line. Again, sense is likely lifted, but we've got to stay cautious here because, again, that was not even warned in the first place. So again, stay safe. Alrighty. So that rotation is going to cross Highway 98 within the next couple of minutes. Again, going on the east side of Columbia. Again, right now, the main area of rotation that we're watching is more broad, but it is closer to a bigger population center. It's over Brookhaven, Mississippi. You got that little notch poking out of the line of storms there. Again, all these little baby discrete supercells out here are kind of scaring me. A lot of these have had tornado warnings over the past couple of hours, and a lot more are going to as well over the next little while. So, again, we've kind of got two separate lines of storms here right now. One of them extending all the way from Jackson, Mississippi down to Jackson, Louisiana. And the other one being over sections of kind of east central Louisiana, soon going to be in west central and southwestern Mississippi. But those will eventually merge into one line of storms. Alan Crow with the 1-month membership. Thank you very much. Thank you for becoming a moderate risker. If you're not aware, we've got a membership program for the Davis Says Weather channel. If you'd like to become a member, make sure to do so by clicking the little button next to the chat. Again, W. Allen, again, becoming a member gets you access to free videos, free shorts, and custom stickers to use in the chat. If any members would like to show those off right now, feel free to. Again, W. Allen, that is a $10 or a $9 membership. So let's go and get Allen on the donation board. Or is it $8? I don't even remember the price of my own memberships. I never remember the moderate risk one. I remember all the other ones except for the moderate risk. Okay. Seriously though, thank you a lot, Alan. Again, I've been trying to do some more members only content recently. I got a little thunderstorm vlog out for you guys on the members only channel, as you guys may or may not know. So if you're a member and you haven't seen that yet, make sure to go check it out. But yeah, again, if you can't become a member, I completely understand. Just liking and subscribing helps push this further into the algorithm for the folks that need this coverage. Again, rotation continuing to tighten up there as this approaches Columbia. Alan with the $2 dono, showing off his stickers there. Thank you very much, W. Allen, again. Let's go ahead and update that donation board there once more then. Again, we've literally spent more time in the OBS fixing things than we have actually covering this event, it feels like. Sorry about that. Thank you so much, though, Alan, in all seriousness. Obviously, you've helped out a lot over the past, really the past year or so, I believe. So thank you for all your support. Definitely notable how most of Jackson's office... Oh, and there we go. Okay, we do have the tornado warning reissued for Columbia, Mississippi there. That is a tornado warning for Columbia, Summerall, Seminary, and Bassfield, Mississippi. Obviously, this is a very historic town, but... Again, if you're in this area, make sure that you're seeking shelter immediately. Again, right now, we are immediately concerned about the Columbia area because, I mean, this is moving through Columbia within the next 60 seconds. So, again, if you're in this area, you got to seek shelter now. You don't have time to wait. Get underground if you can. If you can't get underground, get on the lowest floor of a sturdy building in an interior room, and you have to be away from the windows. But for right now, again, that is really the most concerning thing that we have to watch. Again, that rotation's continuing to tighten up again. We've been pretty good with these call-outs today. Okay. So again, if you're in that area, seek shelter. If you know anybody that might be traveling in this area, like along Highway 98, make sure to let them know what's going on. Again, this is a pretty serious situation here for the Columbia, Mississippi area. This is a live look from the Columbia, Mississippi EMA. Got some heavy rain right now. Can kind of see the base of the storm out in the distance, but we're kind of blocked here by all the rain on the camera. It's a little annoying. But again, that's going to be moving into Columbia within the next, 2 minutes maximum. So if you're in this area, you got to seek shelter. Right now, it is over Lovelace. So if you guys know where the Pearl River is, if you live in Columbia, you know what this is. This is crossing Pearl River right now, and it is going to be in Columbia very, very shortly. Again, if you're in an area like Seminary, sure, you've got probably 15, even maybe 20 minutes until this reaches you, but it is best just to, practice for next time, try to take shelter as soon as possible, but if you do have an emergency going on, you can, get through that, obviously, but otherwise, we do recommend you get to your safe spot as soon as possible. But again, if you're in Columbia, I'm not trying to be dramatic or anything, but you do not have time if you're in Columbia. Just get to your safe spot. Again, the good news is that this is a very quickly moving storm. It's moving off to the northeast at about 45 miles an hour, so this will be over very shortly, but we do need you guys to seek shelter for the near future here. This is going to go on the southeast side of town. Likely is already at this point, actually. Okay. Wait for this next velocity scan. No debris signature yet. Again, no confirmed ongoing tornado, but we do have significant tight rotation there over Lovelace, Mississippi. Okay, yeah, that's now on the south side of Columbia. It has crossed the Pearl River. Wow, there are a lot of homes and businesses out here. Okay. Again, if you're in a mobile home, you got to get out, get into a more substantial shelter. If you can't, lie flat in a ditch. Mobile homes are never the place to go during a tornado. They do not provide any shelter. They only make things worse. Funnel on the Columbia camp. Oh, wow. I don't know if this is what you're talking about, Kevin, but significant lowering. For sure. Yeah, we've got a significant lowering there on the Columbia cam. If you're in this area, again, seek shelter immediately. Oh, Mayday with the $20 helping you with your summer expenses. Thank you very much. I will try to get back to you in just a second, Mayday. Again, I really do appreciate that a lot, but unfortunately, this is a very serious situation. Thank goodness. Whoever is operating this camera, thank you. A lot of times, they don't move the camera. They just let it sit there, and we can't see what's going on. How's it looking for Wesson, Mississippi? Wesson, Mississippi, I believe that's down in southern Mississippi. I know I've seen that name several times today. Right now, you're going through that line of storms, and you're going to get some more heavy rain and some lightning over the next few minutes, but outside of that, you should be done here pretty shortly, so just hang in there. You may see some storms in another hour or so, but they're not going to be nearly as intense as these. So again, thank you for tuning in. But Weston, Mississippi, that's the forecast for your area. Again, huge thank you to Mayday. Wow, okay, that is dropping a tornado within the next couple of minutes here, likely. That is a definite funnel cloud. Wow. We have never seen anything that definitive, I don't think, on a Radar Omega Cam since the Columbia, Tennessee tornado. That is insane. Okay, if you're in this area, again, you gotta seek shelter. You don't have time to wait. This is going over Columbia. Look at those people running. They're doing the right thing. And this is right over the Marion County Men's Correctional Facility. That is a very clear... Oh, gosh, dude. we could have a big tornado touching down within the next couple minutes here. Again, this is significant. We have to hope that if this is going to produce a tornado, it is moved out of Columbia by then. Columbia is not a massive town, but it does hold a few thousand people. That is a very clear funnel. Yeah, that is lowering down significantly. Wow. Holy cow, dude. Velocities don't even look as impressive, but it doesn't matter. We see what's going on at the surface. We know what's happening. Oh, my goodness. That is a wispy little funnel there at the bottom. That is clear as day. Wow, dude. That is just an unbelievable view. Whew, the camera operator still turning it there. Cameraman coming in clutch once again. Again, if you're in this area, we need you to seek shelter immediately. This is a potentially ongoing tornado here within the next 120 seconds. It's behind my cam. It's not still, is it? I don't think it is now. Okay. That is big, though. That is a big deal. Was that behind my camera the entire time? If you're just now tuning in, we have a significant bull funnel cloud right now over Columbia, Mississippi. That is coming down. Oh gosh, yeah, that's going down right now. Look at that. That is a tornado. That's on the ground. Wow, dude. That is a crazy little rope tornado. Okay, this is an ongoing tornado in Columbia, Mississippi. An unbelievable view. This is insane. This is a tornado. This is right now. This is not a few seconds ago. This is not a few minutes ago. This is right now. We have a tornado on the ground doing damage in Columbia, and it's getting larger fast. If you are in this area, you've got to go now. This is a significant tornado. This is huge. Okay, this is big. Again, this is a confirmed tornado. This is a tornado doing damage. Oh, wow. That is not good, dude. I'm getting pictures of this because I don't even believe it. Again, that is the craziest thing I've seen a cyclone port pick up. Oh, Alan, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Again, guys, I promise you guys I'm going to get back to those donations here in just a second, but we've really got to make sure that we're hitting all our bases here because this is big. Wow, that is a tornado doing damage as we speak. I don't know why this is still radar indicated. That is the clearest tornado I think I've ever seen in my life. If you're just now tuning in, we have a clear tornado on the ground and doing damage in Columbia, Mississippi. This is big. This thing is getting huge. Again, I don't think I've seen anything like this through a radar Omega cyclone port for this duration of time. Okay, it looks like it's occluding. Nope, never mind. Okay. Yeah, this is crazy, guys. I don't even believe this. You don't see something like this almost ever on a radar Omega cyclone port. Again, praise the Lord. I mean, I cannot believe that this camera operator is actually here doing this right now, controlling this camera, because most of the time, 99% of the time, we just have a blank camera sitting here and we don't see what's going on. But we see this tornado right now. It is clear. It is strong. It is damaging. It is everything you could describe about a tornado. I mean, this is not good. Again, we're very lucky that it looks like it moved out of Columbia by the time it produced. But if you know anybody in Columbia, you have to give them a call or text and make sure that they are doing okay. This is a bad situation. Wow. Okay. Again, that is a definitive tornado. Again, it looks like it's occluded at this point, but we still have a very clear funnel. We are not taking our eyes off of this camera. I mean, this is the craziest thing I've seen on stream. That does not even look real. I mean, that was insane. how fast that just touched down. Again, luckily it was only on the ground for, 2 minutes, but those 2 minutes are enough. I mean, and it looks like it's still on the ground, actually. Or at least it's trying to touch back down there. Wow. Yeah, that's insane. I mean, again, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that on a radar omega cyclone pour other than Columbia, Tennessee. Funnily enough, this is Columbia, Mississippi. I didn't even think about that. Okay, that is insane. That might have been the craziest thing we've ever witnessed on a stream. I still don't even believe that just happened. By the way, don't let your guard down. Columbia, you're fine at this point, but this tornado could touch down any minute. It could touch back down, I should say. So if you are at Improve or Hopewell or Hickory Grove, get to your safe spot immediately. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect as well for sections of eastern Louisiana. This is for Morawaville and Cottonport. This is for our line of storms here, producing damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour. If you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors. I'm just in a state of shock right now. I really can't believe that just happened. What's up, random Texan guy? If you're just not tuning in, we just had an unbelievable view of a damaging tornado. I mean, that thing was strong on the ground. According to Jesse, we do have a CC drop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is a CC drop. That is not a contamination error. That is CC. So again, even though this tornado is not on the ground anymore, you still need to be in your safe spot because there's still debris in the atmosphere here. And this just now got pushed to observed. Broadcast media confirmed tornado, you think? No, I don't want to crap on the National Weather Service because obviously they do an amazing job, but it's times like that that makes me pretty concerned. Wow. Again, that does not... That just... I'm still shocked. I mean... Again, I don't even believe that just happened with my own eyes. That is crazy. Again, Columbia, Mississippi. I pray that everybody's okay. I mean, that is horrendous to see in an area that populated. Unbelievable. Again, that is a significant debris signature. I mean, that was a strong tornado while it was on the ground. That's about all there is to say, really. I mean, that is a once every probably year view on a radar omega cyclone pour right there. By the way, we do have a new area of rotation developing near Mount Carmel, Mississippi. If you're in this area, prepare to take shelter within the next few minutes. There's not an ongoing tornado warning, but we do have this supercell here. Now, it's not fully discrete, but that doesn't mean that it can't produce. So if you are in this area, make sure that you are prepared to potentially have to seek shelter. Make sure that you know where to go if you're going to have to. Make sure you got your shoes on, everything like that. That's going to be moving towards areas like Mount Olive, Mississippi over the next few minutes. I mean, again, honestly, whoever's operating that camera, they realistically could have just saved a couple of lives. I can't believe it. I really can't. That is insane. If we see nothing else today, this will go down as the craziest view of a tornado we've seen so far this year. I mean, wow. It's just how fast that popped up. That did not even look natural. I mean, you guys know I've been doing this for years now. I look at this stuff every day. I've looked at, radar data from, the 1800s all the way up, or not radar data in the 1800s, but radar data as early as it existed, tornado photos from the 1800s all the way up until now. And you don't see something like that very often. EMS reports trees down. Yeah, I imagine that's unfortunately only the beginning of the damage that we're going to end up seeing. Okay, so we do have a new tornado warning for McGee, Mississippi. This is an extension for our rotation here embedded in our line. So if you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. Again, no ongoing tornado with this, but even if you don't see a tornado, you are going to get hit with these damaging winds if you are in that tornado warning there. So again, get ready, seek shelter. This is south of Jackson, Mississippi. I mean, that was just insane. Again, as we said, guys, any one of these little supercells can do it today, and that one did it. And that makes me scared. Okay, so debris signature still clearly there. Again, even if there's not a tornado on the ground, we still have debris being thrown thousands of feet up into the atmosphere. So if you're on Hopewell, Improve, or Rocky Branch, you need to seek shelter now. There's going to be pieces of people's homes, pieces of trees, stuff like that flying out of the sky. So again, if you're in this area, seek shelter. Again, I really don't even believe what I just saw. I mean... And again, I know I did not say it while that was ongoing because that was a very serious situation, but huge thank you to Mayday and to Alan. You guys are crazy with the support today. That is insane. Thank you very much. Again, I really couldn't ask for a better community. You guys are awesome. Again, it's awesome how whenever something serious happens, we're able to work together and we're able to help people get through this. So again, thank you very much. Again, thank you so much for all the support. I mean, that's just crazy. We still definitely got debris there, obviously south of Improve. Again, you'll notice how it's kind of the lighter colors, though. That's a sign of it starting to have mostly fallen. But again, you can't take this situation too seriously. I mean, this is unbelievable what we're seeing here. Cannot believe it. I mean, that was insane. I know I keep saying that over and over again. I sound like a broken record, but that was crazy. Make sure to click that subscribe button, because again, we do this every day for areas all across the country, whether it's severe weather, hurricanes, or winter storms. We've got you covered. Today it was severe weather, and that is something that you don't see almost at all. Again, I know I've said that so many times, but on a Raider Omega Cyclone port, it's just how quickly that developed. I mean, that's insane. That might get warned near Chatham, Alabama. Let's check it out. Is it the supercell that produced multiple times? It is. Yeah, that rotation is definitely strengthening again. If you're in chat, I'm prepared to seek shelter if necessary. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, I saw Zelia. The eye on that thing is unbelievable. It's just crazy. It reminds me a lot, actually, of Typhoon Yagi, just on a little bit of a smaller scale. But yeah. Okay. So again, we do have a hook echo and significant rotation approaching Chatham, Alabama. So if you're in this area, make sure to seek shelter immediately. Lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. And we've got significant velocities here with this. Again, luckily this is going to miss downtown Chatham, but it is going to go towards areas like Yarbo, Ellisville, Bigby, and St. Stephen's. So if you're in any of those areas, prepare to potentially have to seek shelter here in the next few minutes. Crazy. But yeah, make sure to click that subscribe button because at the end of the month, we are going to do one push-up for every 3 subs that we gain. And we honestly could hit 3,300 subs today if we really push that message out there. So again, share this with a friend. Again, we have been doing this for so long. Doing YouTube is a dream of mine, as it is for many kids my age. But I like to think that we're not the ordinary channel over here. We do important work. Again, I'm not talking about me alone. I'm talking about everybody in the chat that we have helping out, keeping things under control, sending in reports, all that stuff helps out so much because there's only so many things I can do at once. So again, huge thank you to all those people, and again, the people that donate, going above and beyond. Again, massive thanks to you guys as well. Wow, look at this view from the Hattiesburg, Mississippi cam. It's actually from the University of Southern Mississippi. Crazy look at that. It's the day of Radar Omega cyclone ports. Alright, new tornado warning has been issued for Coffeyville, Alabama. Good call out, Kevin. Again, we literally just talked about this. So again, if you're in this area, seek shelter. Again, lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows in an interior room. This is approaching Yarbo and Ellisville, Alabama. So seek shelter. I know we have 4 warnings, but one's about to expire, so we're just going to update it to 3 here. And that is crazy. By the way, from the Mobile, Alabama radar, KMOB, we've got some definite rotation there with our embedded in our line of storms. So even though it's not super visible here from the Jackson radar, this is pretty significant. Again, I'm still shocked by what we just saw. I mean, there's not much else I can say about it, but just know that that is something that you will not see very often on a Radar Omega cyclone port. Cyclone ports save lives. The Cyclone Port Service does. I mean, again, they had probably the best view out of everybody on the internet of that cell there. Because even though that big honking tower was in the way, I mean, nobody was on this cell at this point. I had the tornado warning earlier. Nobody was on it then because nobody was quite down here yet. And then now it produces. I mean, it's crazy. Damage to an oxygen tank in Colombia? That is not good. Yeah, I'm somewhat nervous to see damage reports from this, because based on the CC drop that we had on that thing, that was big. And again, we've even still got some debris there in the atmosphere, it looks like. It could just be contamination at this point, but that is a nasty, nasty cell. Okay. I have not looked at Twitter since that touchdown, so I'm sure everybody's freaking out. Cannot believe it. Trying to see if we have any damage reports here. Give me just a sec. Again, apparently there was some sort of damage to an oxygen tank. And also tree damage, but I mean that's going to happen with every tornado in history. Let's see. I mean, this is a good day for Radar Omega. Wow. Holy cow, dude. Again, that will go down as one of the greatest cyclone port captures in history. Again, I'm still just in wow. I mean, that's insane. We haven't talked a whole lot about the winter storm up in the Ohio Valley. Again, we've got significant ice accumulations really falling all across the Midwest right now, everywhere from areas like Illinois all the way back through Ohio. I'm getting some of that rain myself and freezing rain at home. Soon I'll be picking up on some snow, so pretty excited for that. If you guys want to see, maybe I'll do like a members-only video for that. Feels the right kind of content for. So, make sure to become a member if you do want to see that. And I am a little too excited for this system. Every time we have even the threat of a quarter-inch of snow, everybody's like, are they going to cancel school? And I have to be the bearer of bad news, unfortunately, but... Just joined, I'm in Semmes, Alabama, in a trailer. What's your forecast for me? Well, let's check it out. Semmes, Alabama. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So you are in our slight risk of severe weather, so that's a level 2 out of 5 on the Storm Prediction Center scale. If you want my input, I would say that a lot of that activity is going to stay off to your north and your west here. A lot of these supercells, by the time they sweep into that area, they're not going to be fully developed. So sure, you may end up seeing some thunderstorms, maybe some wind, some rain, stuff like that, but your chance of seeing a tornado, honestly, is going to be quite low. By midnight, that line of storms is going to be sweeping through your area with some significant damaging winds, but, I mean, outside of that, after that, you should be fine. For your area, though, actually, I would be more concerned about looking out for Saturday. I think Saturday we could see some significant damaging winds in your area, so stay aware, be prepared. Again, thank you for tuning in. Again, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. We are so unbelievably close to 3,300 subscribers. We are 13 away. But yeah, we do this every day for areas all across the country. And again, we just had a crazy tornado on stream. No problem, Tracy. What about Albany, Georgia? Oops. I don't know why I'm typing in Albany, Georgia. We know where that's at, but it's easier. So we're mainly going to be looking out for your area actually tomorrow morning. If we take a look at things here, the Day 2 outlook showing that marginal risk of severe weather centered right over your area. Now, I don't think that you're going to end up seeing anything too intense other than maybe some gusty winds, but I would not rule out a brief tornado with how things have been playing out so far today. The main activity is going to be anywhere from 6 a.m. all the way through, say, 8 or 9 a.m. really. So again, stay aware, be prepared, but nothing too crazy for the Albany area. Going back over the Day 1 outlook here, obviously. Again, our enhanced risk spanning all the way from portions of Alabama back through areas like northeast Louisiana. Yeah, Cardboard, we had a crazy tornado on the ground. Talking about the Day 4 outlook, random Texan guy, because Day 3 is nothing. I mean, you got a general thunder, but I assume you're talking about Day 4. And if you're talking about Day 4, a lot of the activity is going to be after the ECU, because by the time the storms are in Houston, they're not going to be fully matured. Similar story to the Mobile area, actually. And unfortunately, I will not be able to go live for that event, which is really upsetting, because that is going to be potentially one of the biggest outbreaks of the winter. The setup, and I talked about this, but the setup looks similar, but not as intense as December 28th. Which, if you guys are familiar with that outbreak, you know. But if we look at the GFS, just look at the CATE values to start with. They're pretty similar to today, just a little bit more intense. If we take a look at things, as we push on to the 15th here, which is Saturday, again, we're expecting, maybe 2,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE across sections of southeast Texas. Now, remember, this is early, and usually with the GFS, how it works is it doesn't show proper CAPE values until the very end of the run. So all these values that you're seeing on your screen here, I would add probably 500 to those, right? But obviously, CAPE is not the only thing that you need to fire off severe storms. You've also got to have some wind shear, and we are going to have plenty of that. If we take a look at the jet stream here, look at all that wind in the southeast quadrant. That's at the 850 millibar level. We're talking, again, this is high up in the atmosphere, obviously, but we got 60s, 70s, 50s, which is usually a good indicator for some high wind shear. And if we take a look at the supercell composite as well, we've obviously got values there, so pretty concerning outbreak on the way. Velocity looks crazy near New Hampshire, Mississippi. I'll get to your question there in just a second, Cookie. This is with our line, I believe. If it's with our line, yeah. The reason that looks so crazy is just because of the contamination. It's not actual rotation that's that significant. There is rotation there, likely near New Hampshire, but it's not nearly as intense as it looks there. What time will this severe weather leave Mississippi? It depends on what part of Mississippi you're talking about. If you're talking like eastern Mississippi, it's not going to be out of here until midnight, unfortunately. But if you're talking western Mississippi, you've only got a couple more hours. But in general, just kind of throughout the evening, you'll be dealing with some of that. We're down to 2 tornado warnings now. Again, right above my face cam, you got PA storm trackers. They're traveling through the Ohio Valley right now. They're chasing our winter storm that we have with this system. I don't remember the goofy name that the Weather Channel has for it, but yeah. And a lot of that ice starting to accumulate across sections of the Midwest. Ice storm warnings are in effect for a few counties in northwest Ohio, specifically the Toledo area. The more significant ice storm that we had recently, though, is the one in Virginia, which ended up leaving tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of customers without power. Actually, we can turn that on right now on the county and the state level. Look at that. All those counties that are shaded in different colors there, those are counties that have power outages. Now, if we turn that on the state level, by the way, we've got a few counties without power there in portions of Mississippi and Louisiana as well, based off our line of damaging winds. But if we take a look at the state outage level, we can see that we've got over 160,000 customers in Virginia alone without power. Originally, that number was over 200,000, I believe. So, very significant ice storm over there. One of the biggest that we've... Excuse me. One of the biggest we've seen so far this year, and we've seen a lot. So... Sorry. Got something caught in my throat. Still some strong rotation there south of Coffeyville, Alabama. Tornado warning remains in effect there. This is likely going to miss the Coffeyville area. I mean, you are right on the edge of our tornado warning, but it's, again, a good precautionary measure just to take shelter. Again, good practice for next time. We do have a developing supercell near Hattiesburg, Mississippi. This has been traveling along with our cell that produced the Columbia tornado for a while now, and it is broadly rotating. It's not enough to warn a tornado warning or even a severe thunderstorm warning quite yet, but I would not be surprised to see that get a special weather statement soon, especially with that lightning uptick. That's likely a sign of this storm strengthening. So... It was 80 today in Albany, Georgia. Yep, that's one of the things still fueling our storms here. We've got all that all those enhanced dew point values, temperatures as well, obviously. But we've been seeing 80s all across the south coast of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle, which even for those areas in February, that is crazy. I mean, it's not but a month ago that we had a massive blizzard down in this area. The biggest blizzard of all time for the Gulf Coast. So, I mean, this has really been the craziest start to a year possible weather-wise, between wildfires in California destroying thousands of acres. We've had, historic tornado events down in Dixie Alley. We've had blizzards down in Dixie Alley. We've had major ice storms all across the Ohio Valley. I mean, this has been the craziest start to a year weather-wise. It's insane. I mean, we've had everything, and yet somehow we have not had anything ticked off of our bingo card yet. It's crazy. I'm also pretty worried about family in Columbus, Georgia. Columbus, Georgia is going to be closer to where that line of storms is a little bit stronger, but you're still not going to end up seeing anything likely more than some damaging winds. So to put your mind at ease here, we'll go through the HRRR. Again, it's going to be a very early morning time event tomorrow for Columbus. Really, you can consider this late tonight. I mean, it's going to be about 2, 3 a.m. Again, just watch out for some thunderstorms, some lightning, some wind. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts in case you do get the odd tornado or severe thunderstorm warning. But should not be anything too crazy, luckily, for the Columbus areas either. Pretty similar forecast to Columbus as it was for the Albany area. We do have significant rotation just southwest of Monticello, Mississippi, that may get tornado warned here within the next couple of minutes. They have had a history today of warning stuff that looks kind of like this. It's got what I like to call the mirror effect on it. Basically, what it is it looks exactly the same on both sides. It's just a different color because of wind direction. Thank you, Mike. Supply building was hit and multiple homes damaged from the Columbia tornado. Yeah, luckily, again, it was mostly just outside of Columbia. Again, I mean, that was dangerously close to hitting the downtown area. I mean, it basically did, but it could have been quite a bit worse. Buildings, not homes. But yeah, we've been live for over an hour now covering this. Again, it has just been the craziest outbreak that we've seen here for a hot minute. Again, we've already seen at least 3 or 4 confirmed tornadoes today. Puts us at least halfway to an outbreak. You need 6 tornadoes in a 12-hour period for it to be considered a tornado outbreak. Pretty concerned with our line here. Again, it's very contaminated, but we do have strong rotation approaching the Gwinneville and Boggin area. It's not produced yet, or at least it's not been confirmed to produce. By the way, that supercell that produced the Columbia tornado, it is dead now. I mean, it is a rain shower over Seminary. I mean, that just shows you how quickly the life cycle of that thing was. I mean, you could do a radar loop sped up on that thing, and it would be about 5 seconds. When is peak tornado time for this evening? Now. It would be now whenever we've got all these supercells firing off here out ahead of our lines. And it's that typical thing where we've got all these little discrete supercells out here, and then eventually we're going to have a big line come in and suck them all up, stop the tornado threat for the most part, but in the process produce some damaging winds. I mean, this is just the most classic wintertime Dixie Alley event that you can have, I feel like. Not too crazy, but you're definitely going to still see some wild stuff. By the way, that storm that we mentioned earlier, approaching Beaumont now, looks to have some enhanced velocities on the latest scan there. Those colors getting a bit brighter. Still quite broad, but starting to get stronger, it looks like. So again, if you're in this area, stay safe. Again, it's that one, and then also the other one further off to the west here that I'm concerned about because they're both unwarned. The one south of Monticello at this point. Again, that is going to be going probably near the Arm area right about now. Near Robinwood, rather. Not Arm quite yet, but soon. Again, probably in between Robinwood, Monticello, and Highway 27 at this point. And, I mean, again, this is an interesting one because it is a supercell, but it is also starting to become attached to our lines. There's a good chance that the line kind of chokes it off there over the next few minutes. Yeah, rotation definitely getting stronger with our Beaumont storm. I'd be on the lookout for that. And we still got rotation there with our storm in the Monticello area, based off of the latest scan from the Mobile radar. Again, I'm almost more concerned about this, though. This looks somewhat significant. Again, right now the rotation is relatively broad, but it is strong. How much SRH do we have out here? We've got 200, 250 in the first kilometer of the atmosphere, so that's somewhat significant. What's up, Fuzzball Factory? Again, the Columbia, Mississippi tornado, whenever it went through, there really wasn't a whole lot of SRH out here. I mean, it was about the same. I mean, it really doesn't take more than 200. But yeah. Look at that big old blotch over Jackson. over 800. The good news is that there is no way in heck that we have a supercell up there that manages to become discrete long enough to produce a tornado. Again, that rotation is becoming more clear now that we're getting closer to the Jackson radar with our line that is tornado warned. The part of our line that's tornado warned anyway. And it's quite broad, but it is there. North of Janesville, definitely. Northwest of Janesville, anyway. Again, in between Robinwood and Monticello at the moment, we do have some definite rotation. Some weird contamination there in CC. And then our Beaumont storm continuing to look somewhat significant. Possible CC drop near Kentwood. Is that... That's not the Monticello storm, is it? No. Kentwood. Is that Mississippi? Nope. Kentwood, Mississippi. I don't see that. I do see a Kentwood, Louisiana. Are we talking this supercell? We'll get over to that new tornado warning here in just a sec. If you're talking about Kentwood, Louisiana, I don't see a CC drop. We do have a new tornado warning now for sections of Highway 67 south of Wiggins. This is our storm over Howison that does have some strong rotation there. It just kind of swept on the shore. And it has mustered up just enough rotation there. Velocities are just strong enough to warn a tornado warning. So if you're in that area, seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, and in an interior room, preferably a basement or a bathroom in the middle of your house. But yeah. Storm near Howison. We got some sleet, chat. Hold on. Oh, wow. Yeah, we've got some sleet here back at home. Wow. That stuff is beautiful. I'm actually going to... We'll check Howison, Mississippi. Oh, yeah. You're just talking about the new tornado warning. I'm actually going to get some quick footage for this. Be some members-only content. Alright, so we did just get an extension for that tornado warning now for the McHenry area in Mississippi. So again, if you're in this area, seek shelter. Same storm. Two different warnings though, because it's two different National Weather Service offices. Again, if you're just not tuning in, make sure to subscribe. We do this every day for areas all across the country. We've been live for almost 2 hours now. Again, significant damage in Columbia, Mississippi after tornado rips through. Again, still am trying to get over how crazy that cyclone port captured that thing. Again, this rotation approaching Beaumont is very concerning. Again, it's relatively broad at this point, but I think that should definitely get a tornado warning over the past few minutes. I've been watching that develop, and it is significant. Just letting the boys know about this one. Okay. But yeah, I would not be surprised to see a new tornado warning come out for Beaumont, Mississippi. I mean, any minute now. So if you're in this area, prepare. Beaumont's not a massive town. It's pretty small. But we've got a pretty significant velocity couplet they're developing. Again, it's discrete. It is a nasty storm. Okay. A little bit weaker there in the news velocity scan. I kind of figured since the hook echo's kind of curving in on itself. Didn't really know what the right term was for that. Alrighty. So again, 4 tornado warnings remain in effect for sections of southern Mississippi and southern Alabama here. Again, I'm quite interested in our rotation embedded in our line at this point. Waiting for this velocity scan to update. It is 8 minutes behind the reflectivity. It does not happen too often. Our line just moved through Philadelphia, Mississippi as well. There's a look from the Choctaw County area. Choctaw County is historic for tornadoes. Obviously, we had the Philadelphia EF5 itself. But we've had several others in the Choctaw County area in recent history. Again, it's really the baby supercells. This has been the day of the baby supercells. They've been the ones that have done the most damage. Those are the ones that have produced the tornadoes. Again, make sure to like and subscribe if you've not already. We're only 13 subs away from 3,300. I would bring a sub count up on stream, but again, we've already done so much outside of the radar tab today. I think it's time to chill here for a little bit while we have a chance. Okay, if anybody has any questions, feel free to leave them all down below. I mean, at this point, we're really just watching these baby supercells try and try again. Again, I really think they should give our Beaumont storm a tornado warning here, but whatever. Again, I guess the rotation's still somewhat broad, so that may be why they haven't yet, but would not be shocked to see one come out here in the next few minutes for that storm. Looks like Gherkin and Kopic are going to try and hook onto it as well. No pun intended. Yeah, that new velocity scan there. I mean, this is still a concerning supercell. Not only concerning because of how strong the rotation is with that there, but also, I mean, again, it is entering right on path with the town of Beaumont. That is contamination, by the way. That's not a debris signature. Just for anybody that's a little, less versed in radar. It's just a pocket of dead air. Which sometimes can tell us something, but not in this instance. It's up to Hawney. If we lock it back in here on McGee, again, rotation broadening out, continuing to broaden out with that. Right over McGee at this point, though. Again, Beaumont Storm is the most impressive one at this point, in my opinion. I mean, that's contaminated. I know there's some pixels of contamination in there, but, like, how are you not going to tornado warn that? Look at those velocities, look at that hook echo, and tell me that does not deserve a tornado warning. I mean, look at the environment, even. Like, this is the most deserving area of a tornado warning, I feel like. We've got 300 SRH. We've got, let's see, 1,500 Cape. We've got almost 40 knots of shear. It's discreet. I mean, I don't know what else you can possibly need here for a tornado warning for this. Of course, I say that, and then it dies. Okay. Oh, now I look like an idiot. But I really still think that that'll, I think that's just this scan. I think it's going to look more impressive next scan. Oh, wait, that was last scan. Yeah, so our current scan here is still significant. I just feel like not giving it a tornado warning at this point is a little weird. I don't know why it's doing that. It keeps putting me on the previous scan for all the different radar features here. Chat, should we double box? It's been a minute since we've done this. Mainly because now my face cam is so massive you can't see anything. Almost as massive as the lightsaber fade meme, but... Again, I mean, clear hook echo there. Very clear inflow notch. Again, this is a crazy stacked environment. This is about as close as you're going to get to having a tornado warning storm without having a tornado warning on it. In my opinion, this storm is a way greater chance of producing than any of the tornado warning storms, but I don't know, that may just be me. Yeah, I forgot you can't see this. Yeah, Corey Gherkin and Brandon Kopic are both on this. Corey Gherkin and especially Brandon Kopic almost had a capture of that tornado that we had earlier today. The one we were not live for, the one near Richton, which is, again, they're still in the same exact area. This is a whole different supercell. You can't see the reflectivity. Is it better now? Should be a little bit better now. Oh, I guess you still can't really see it. You can't see the hook echo there, can you? There we go. That's better. Alrighty. Well, I mean, again, there's not a whole lot else to say here. Again, I think if we don't see something definitive here within the next, probably, say, 20 minutes, we'll be safe to end. Again, we might come back later if things are active enough. Couldn't really tell you that at this point, though. Again, it looks like it's mainly just going to be a big-time wind bag overnight. Would not rule out a few QLCS tornadoes, though, for sure. Tornado warning for the Alabama cell has been canceled. So we're left with our rotation in our line that is, again, completely broad at this point. And then we've got our baby supercell that swept onto shore, which is almost no rotation at this point. Again, the only thing that we have to watch is the one thing that's not even tornado warned. It's the Beaumont cell. What's up, Samuel? Again, that is one of the strongest velocity couplets I've seen unwarned, without even having like a special weather statement for a land spout or something. I mean, that's crazy. Okay. Am I going to stream on Saturday? No. Again, unfortunately, I am going to be at National Storm Chaser Summit. Otherwise, I totally would. Again, that looks like it could... I've said this so many times, but it looks like it could be the outbreak of the winter. Again, only things lacking are Cape, and then also the storm mode's not great, but still, it's that is crazy for a February setup, even in Dixie. Anyway, new tornado warning for Magnolia and Sartonville in southwest Mississippi. Seek shelter. That's southeast of Macomb. So if you know anybody in that area, make sure to let them know what's going on. Send them the stream. Ben Williams has a crazy look on the storm. Are we talking on the Beaumont storm? Or are we talking about the storm that just got its tornado warning? I mean, at this point, it's all Mississippi. All up to Mississippi to show us something here. And it's only got a couple more hours to really do something impressive. Again, the Columbia tornado happened. That was crazy. We had a couple tornadoes with the cell that crossed state lines. That was pretty big, but other than that, I don't think we've had anything confirmed. We did, interestingly enough, we had a storm with a special weather statement producing potential funnel clouds and land spouts northwest of New Orleans today, and I made a community post about it. I mean, it was, sure, I mean, that happens, but it was so far before the peak timing for this event. I mean, this event really started way earlier than we were thinking. I mean, what ended up being the peak timing was when we were thinking originally that it would get started. I was really thinking we're going to have to push back my stream today to like 4:30 because, I didn't think anything would be happening, but that is just, it's crazy. I mean, the event really got started around noon. Rotation continuing to broaden out on our Beaumont storm. It is quite strong, though. Again, unwarned entirely. Look, that goes kind of curling in on itself there, as it has been for a while. Kind of want to just set on a wide view here. And turn over the MRMS. What if we do this? We'll put on a loop. I want to look at, see if we have any information from the Columbia tornado. Again, we had an oxygen tank destroyed. We have a lot of structures damaged. Again, NATOcast being very wonky with its prediction today for a 30% tour risk in Alabama. Again, as I said at the beginning of the stream, you always trust SPC over NATOcast, especially in hurricanes and Dixie events. I mean, I don't know what it is, but NATOcast, basically what will happen is it takes an event and it takes all the parameters times 3, and then it comes out with its outlook. I mean, it's insane. We have not had a single confirmed tornado in Alabama. Like, we had a little wispy one across Mississippi-Alabama state line. We have not had a single true tornado confirmed in Alabama today. And there was a 30% torus there. That supports a high risk on the SPC scale. Anyway, as we've been saying for 15, 20 minutes now, they finally tornado warned the Beaumont, Texas storm. So if you're in this area, seek shelter immediately. Colgreen, Wilson, Grafton, and Sandhill, seek shelter now. But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, there is still, AI has a long way to go before it can accurately forecast weather. So that makes me feel good. Now, sure, some events it'll surprise me, but... Alright, see you, Samuel. Thank you for tuning in. Again, nothing confirmed with this yet. No debris signature or anything. But stay in your safe spot. I imagine they will cancel our tornado warning for our line any second now, really, as the rotation is pretty much done, and what is left is literally out of, not out of, but almost out of the polygon at this point. Again, they could really let go of the tornado warning under Macomb cell. It really didn't even need that in the first place. We could see like a land spout or something south of Magnolia, but I would doubt it. And then, again, same thing with the Wiggins cell. I don't know why this is still here. It's not even a thunder shower. This is a shower. Oh, and there we go. As we say that, they cancel it. We have been doing crazy with the callouts today. Again, our cell in Alabama, southeast of Coffeyville at this point. Broadly rotating, but nothing too crazy quite yet. I still do kind of want to stay up and see if we do end up getting a tornado somewhere in southern Alabama tonight. Again, I wouldn't rule out a stream if that does end up happening, but I don't know about the likelihoods of it. I mean, it's honestly, at this point, the only thing that makes me think that it's a possibility is NATOcast. They don't throw out 30% all the time, except for in hurricanes. I mean, it is rare to see them put that out. Obviously not as rare as the SPC, but whenever you have a 30% NATOcast outlook, you can almost bet your bottom dollar that whatever area it's over is going to end up getting a big outbreak. Does title still say tornado on the ground? That's my bad. We'll fix that in a second, but we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for our line of storms here moving through McGee, Mississippi. It's approaching Heidelberg, Bay Springs, and Taylorsville. 60-mile-an-hour winds, tornado possible tag. That likely means they're going to let go of this tornado warning and not reissue it. But again, if you're in this area, make sure to move indoors. Again, be prepared for any other alerts that may get issued in the next several minutes. Yeah, let me fix that title, because that definitely should not say tornado on the ground anymore. Thank you. Push it to tornado warning. I left it there for a little bit just to be safe, and then I guess I forgot about it entirely. This has been one of those events where we've had more tornado warnings the entire time than we have severe warnings. Again, it is really the day of the baby supercells. Rotation has tightened up with our Magnolia storm. Clear hook echo as well. Could be on the ground, honestly. We'll see what happens over the next couple minutes with that, but be on the lookout. In the Sartonville area, make sure you're seeking shelter. You are under a tornado warning. This is about to cross Highway 98 near Holmesville. It could be on the ground cardboard because you have to keep in mind that not only is this a area that has a somewhat bad contamination gap there, but we're also in a completely rural area, so there may just be nothing to pick up. And sometimes the debris just isn't picked up high enough, so it is always possible that we have a weak tornado on the ground with a storm like this. And so we'll cross Highway 98 within the next 10-15 minutes. We're down to 3 warnings now. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in this storm, though. It's impressive that it got this far. It's got a pretty interesting hook, but it's not discreet. Wind shear out in this area is not quite as good as it is a little bit further off to the east. Sam with the $2 donation. Sam, yes, we have a lot of news. I don't know if you were here for the Columbia, Mississippi tornado, but if you weren't, we had a radar omega cyclone port have an amazing view of a relatively strong tornado. So I don't know if you saw that. If you did see that, good. Otherwise, there's not a lot of news to catch up on other than more damaging winds with our line here starting to develop further, and then these baby supercells keep sweeping onto shore. But thank you for the $2 donation. Greatly appreciated. But yeah, if you didn't see the Columbia, Mississippi tornado, I'd recommend going back in the stream. I mean, that was, again, one of the crazier things I've seen on a radar omega cyclone port. But thank you very much for the $2. Again, donating is optional, but it is greatly appreciated. But again, liking and subscribing helps out just as much. Again, we are 13 subs away from 3,300. We do this every day for areas all across the country, even sometimes while other folks aren't here doing it. We will be here most of the time. Not going to say every day, but I guess I did just say every day. We post pretty much every day, whether it's a forecast update, stream, anything like that, really. And again, we're going to get forecast updates out for Saturday's event while I'm at Summit, but again, unfortunately, I will not be able to go live, which is very annoying, and it's a little concerning, because a lot of people are not going to be able to go live for that same reason. A lot of people that usually do stuff like this. So we may have a lack of not only coverage folks, but also chasers in general, and that's not good. Because, again, this is already a Day 4 Enhanced First Day. The last time we saw this, we ended up with a moderate. So, I mean, we've got to really be on the lookout again. Cape values don't look nearly significant enough to promote a moderate risk at this time, and it looks like it's mainly going to be more damage and wind focused, but significant tornado is still going to be possible out ahead of the line. But we still have a while to go until that plays out. We need to wait for the short-range models to start showing some stuff. But again, as of right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be anything that's... What am I saying? I don't know what I was going to say. Sometimes I start sentences and I don't know where I'm going to go with them. Usually it works out. But in the off chance that it doesn't, that's what happens. So... How far back in the stream should you go? About... It's actually a really good question. When was that? Oh, dude, when was that? Okay, it was about an hour ago. It was about an hour ago, Sam. Almost an hour on the dot. So if you go back like exactly an hour, you will see that live cam we have up. Watch the entire view of that live cam, because I'm still speechless. I mean, it's not often you see a tornado develop that quickly and then dissipate that quickly. Again, we do have reports of significant damage, unfortunately, from Colombia. But yeah. Awkward, like, 30-second pause there. Trying to think of anything else to say. Again, I mean, I want to give more forecast updates, but whenever we've been live for 2 hours, we've kind of talked about everything. Guess it hasn't quite been 2 hours. It's been an hour 45, but whatever. Don't know why they still have the tornado warning over McGee. Rotation is lacking, and again, it's not even in the warning polygon anymore, so yeah, wow indeed. Alright, see you, Cookie. Thank you for tuning in. At this point, they warned our Beaumont storm at such a bad time. The second they warned it, it started weakening. What's up, Mr. Twister? Again, I mean, we were watching that for probably... We were pointing that out probably at least, 30 minutes before that got a warning. It was right about here. Now, we called it out fairly early, but, I mean, it should have been warned way earlier. Yeah, I saw you started your stream just a little bit ago. Again, it looks like our tornado threat is starting to diminish, and we're going to start dealing with a big damaging wind bag with our lines. able to add a clock to my live feed. I could do that. It's not a bad idea. For days maybe we don't have chasers, we could put a clock and a mesoscale up there. If there's no mesoscale, we'll throw the SBC Outlook. Thank you for the suggestion, though. Oh, I thought you started stream. Maybe that's Mr. Storm. I thought it said Mr. Twister. I know Mr. Storm did. Oh, it says you're live in 30 minutes. That's what I saw, yeah. Alrighty. So again, we've got 2 tornado warnings left. Neither of the cells looking particularly impressive. The Beaumont cell, likely they could cancel this one at this point, and I'd honestly say the same thing for the Southeast Macomb one. It has somewhat tight rotation, but it's just not strong. I mean, sure, we could see something brief with that, I guess, but I don't know, dude. I think they could probably let that one go. And now that all these storms have passed through, they've been hitting areas over and over again. We have a big flooding event ongoing in central and eastern Louisiana, as well as southwest Mississippi right now. We've got 4 different flash flood warnings. So you can kind of read this off the screen here. If your county/parish is under a flash flood warning, try to avoid driving in flooded roadways. And be prepared because more rain is coming for some of those areas as well. And even a significant amount for some of them. So be on the lookout. The good news is that a lot of those areas under those flash flood warnings at this point, they're done with the severe weather threat. Done with the storms. But yeah. We're 4 likes away from 50. Let's see if we can hit 50 likes to stream chat. If you haven't already, make sure to like the stream. Helps push this further into the algorithm for the folks that need this coverage. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had no idea how long we were going to go live today. I mean, this is one of those days where it could have been 30 minutes or it could have been 3 hours. We kind of shot right in the middle. But 2-hour-long stream, it'll be a little over that by the time we're done. But I think we can really end soon here because these baby cells originally, you know how they were becoming big cells and rotating. They're not doing that anymore. This is the new little batch of baby cells. It's been batch after batch all day. I mean, it's been like cookies coming out of an oven. This is the new batch, and these cookies are not done. They're not cooked all the way. So we're starting to get to the end of the major tornado threat here. Which, honestly, I think we scraped by today with less damage than we certainly could have. I mean, I'm very glad about that, obviously, but we definitely could have seen a lot worse. Again, the Columbia tornado looks quite devastating from what we've seen, but outside of that, not a whole lot happened, which we can be very grateful for. Right of Davis's picture and left of the tornado warning count. We could put it right there. I wouldn't call it a flop because we did have several tornadoes today. At least one was significant. And we're still going to end up seeing some big-time damaging wind threat with our line of storms. So yeah, I mean, I hope Saturday goes similar to this. The bad news is that Saturday's setup is a little more potent. I think we're probably going to end up seeing a few big tornadoes on Saturday, a few that, you know, are talked about for a while. Any winter side of the storm updates? Yeah, ice and snow continuing to fall across sections of the Midwest here at this point. If you're in the Ohio Valley, it's ice. But it's starting to take over snow for parts of the Ohio Valley areas like central Illinois, starting to see a little bit more snow than freezing rain. So as that continues to spread eastward, that will make driving conditions just more hazardous. But, I mean, you'd rather have some snow and some freezing rain than a lot of freezing rain. Because even a tenth of an inch of freezing rain will make travel a nightmare. I mean, it's hard to travel in conditions like that. We're getting freezing rain here right now. Yeah, but there's still plenty of time, unfortunately, Sam. It was not the first enhanced risk of 2025, Mr. Twister. Winter Storm Blair, January 5th, had an enhanced risk. Winter Storm Blair was 10% hatched tornado threat. Still some broad rotation approaching Sartonville and Salem, Louisiana here. Or is this Mississippi? Yeah, it's Mississippi. No, you're good. I mean, they say for every overperforming event, there's an underperforming one. The Deer Lodge, Tennessee tornado and the entirety of the Kentucky-Tennessee outbreak in general was devastating and went well beyond anybody's expectations. So hopefully this kind of, flips the opposite side of that coin. Will Saturday go moderate? That's the question, isn't it? As of right now, I would say no. But again, if we do see an uptrend in the forecast, it's certainly possible. But you don't see a moderate risk, really, when you have, 2,000 cape. I think if we do see a moderate risk, even if with an uptrend, I think if we see a moderate risk, it would really just be for 45% hatch risk of wind. I don't really think of 15% hatch tornado threats in the picture. I think that's a little unrealistic, but time will tell. I bet you NATOcast will show a 15% hatch tor, probably a 30% hatch tor. But, again, we don't take NATOcast quite as seriously as the SBC here because of events like today. We are down to one tornado warning. Anything is possible, yeah. Again, I've said this several times this stream, but it's going to take a little bit more information until we really definitively know what's going to happen with our Saturday event. We got to get closer to the actual date. I mean, that'll probably be the biggest event we haven't gone live for since we started going live. So, it's a little scary, but again, just know that there are plenty of other options out there. Ryan Hall will be live. Max will be live. I'm sure many other greats out there in the community will be live as well. We will have chasers down here. But it's going to be interesting. Yeah, just be prepared. Don't be scared. Be prepared, as Ryan Hall says. Respect the polygons, to quote James Spann. And to quote me, don't walk to your safe place when it's time to go. Run. Haven't thrown that one out there in a while. But, anyway, that's about all there is to say about Saturday. Yeah, it was around noon today that it was at, I think it was actually in the morning time hours today that it was at 976 millibars. Isn't it down into like the 940s now? Or am I crazy? 964. I don't know why I was thinking 940s. But either way, rapid intensification. Again, it's kind of like what Yagi did just before landfall. Just less intense. Excuse me. Okay, so our tornado again, northeast side of Columbia. We just got a report. Lakeview subdivision has damage and trees downed. A couple of homes in the area, as well as businesses, received damage. We kind of already knew all that, based off of EMS reports, which is what this is. But based off of what we've seen and what we've heard, I'm going to say that it was probably in the realm of being a EF1 or a low-end EF2 tornado. Now, obviously, we don't really condone pre-rating here, but the event's over. People aren't going to take it less seriously either way at this point, so might as well speculate. And based off of the damage reports that we've heard, there's nothing that makes me think that this tornado wasn't significant. All across northeast Columbia, we are getting reports of big-time damage. I would be shocked if this was an EF0. It's definitely at least EF1. EF2, it's possible. It is. EF3 is a bit of a stretch, but again, it doesn't matter. It was a devastating tornado. It came out of, it feels like it came out of thin air. I mean, again, the supercell was quite matured, and it had been rotating significantly for a while, and it had been tornado warned earlier as well, but it was not expected to drop that fast. I mean, by the time we saw it lowering, the tornado was basically already down, and I mean, just as fast, it was gone. It was on the ground for, again, like 2 minutes, tops. I mean, it was not a long-tracking tornado. It was on the ground just enough to do significant damage, though it was a cone. Started out as a rope, but it became a cone tornado quite quickly, and then lifted. But yeah. National Storm Chaser Summit's basically just where a lot of famous folks in the community are going to meet up, have a good time, learn about weather, talk about events in 2024. It's going to be awesome. They do it every year, so this is my first year going. Very excited. But yeah. Dude. I am tired. I think it's because as soon as I got home, I sat here for 2 hours and streamed. Storm does still have a hook echo here. Rotation is still somewhat significant. We're waiting for that next velocity scan, though, because this is a little messy, very contaminated. Because the real rotation is back here in the hook, and it's hard to tell if it's significant or not because it's very messed up. The new scan, it has no hook echo. It's caved in on itself. It's likely because it's not at all discrete. Getting one tornado warning, one severe thunderstorm warning at this point. Let's run a poll, boys. Let's decide what we're gonna name this stream. We got a few options, but I wanna get your guys' thoughts. Let's pop on to the stream here on the YouTube website, because stupidly you can't run a poll through the app. And apparently on my phone I can't run a poll on the website either. Well, that's just magnificent. That's great. So now we gotta wait for my iPad to charge. Well, that's fun. Oh, as soon as I say that, it's charged. Okay, we're good. We're chilling. What? Okay, I got scared for a second. I put in my password twice and it told me it was wrong. I guess I just was doing it too fast and I messed it up. I was like, oh no. We're fine. I'm gonna run a poll on what we should name this stream after everything's said and done, because we got a few routes we could go down. Why is it doing that? I can't run a poll. There we go. It always does that whenever it's about to die, which is weird. Okay. Let's run a poll. What do we name this stream? If it would like to load, that would just be spectacular. This is the biggest reason I needed a phone. The Columbia, Mississippi tornado. And then put as it happened on the end, but I can't fit that in the text. The Feb 12th severe weather outbreak. Or, and personally this is my favorite, the baby cell outbreak of Feb 12th. Run up your votes. Let's see what you guys think. We got one vote for Columbia, Mississippi. Oh, the baby cell outbreak is taking over. Rotation is dead with this, by the way. The baby cell outbreak is winning by a long shot. It's a tie between baby cell outbreak and the February 12th severe weather outbreak. Def like the baby cell outbreak. Oh my gosh, it's a three-way tie. That's crazy. Davis almost. It wasn't my YouTube password, it was the passcode to unlock my iPad. That would have been funny, though. The moment Davis almost lost his channel, as it happened. Wind damage report from Brookhaven. Our line that produced damaging winds up to 60 down some trees, it looks like. You can see that little bowing segment in the line definitely makes a lot of sense. So Brookhaven is facing some damage from that. Actually, if we turn on county and state outages, let's see what our numbers are at this point. We've got 6,000 in Mississippi without power, 4,000 in Louisiana without power. Up in Virginia, we've still got well over 150,000 without power. So, pretty significant stuff. Is the sleet piling up? It's not a lot of sleet. At this point, it's basically all freezing rain, which is the dangerous one because it is basically invisible and it makes travel impossible. Or nearly impossible, anyway. But gotta make sure everybody's traveling safe across the Ohio Valley. Lately, there have been a lot of ice events, and too many people don't take that stuff seriously enough. We'd have some rotation within our line near Montrose, Mississippi. Embedded in our line there. The poll is still tied. Maybe we leave it up to destiny. And by that, I mean I decide later whenever I am feeling like it. Same here, freezing rain. Yep. Yep. Yeah, pretty much all across the Ohio Valley at this point. I guess you wouldn't really call this the Ohio Valley, would you? Because this is the Ohio Valley. I'm just familiar with this, I keep calling this the Ohio Valley because I'm usually referred to in events like this as the Ohio Valley, and I'm in this event, but this is not an Ohio Valley event. This is a Midwest event, so it's a little iffy. Need one more like and we'll be at 50 likes, chat. We've been here for 2 hours. Come on. If you have an alt account or anything, that would help out. At this point, we're really just waiting for this tornado warning to expire, because there's no reason it should still be in effect. We could stay live here for our line, but considering that it hasn't shown, based off of the damage that we've seen, anything too significant other than down trees and power lines, I think we'll come back later for it whenever it intensifies further, if necessary. Alright, February 12th, severe weather outbreaks winning. Alrighty. That's more the traditional Davis's weather titling style anyways, so that makes a bit more sense. Basically, I just copy what all the greats do before me. With a little bit of Davis does weather twist on it. But yeah, I think we're going to start to wrap things up here, kind of. What else is there to say? We will likely have not a stream out, but a forecast out tomorrow. For Saturday. Friday, we might have a forecast, like Friday night for Saturday. And then Saturday, we will have a forecast, you guessed it, for Saturday. Possibly. I don't know, because, again, it'll have to be at night, and at that point, the event will already be on the downward trend. So, we'll see. But yeah, this is our last stream here for a while. Potentially. Alrighty, but now that our tornado warning has expired, I think we can probably end off this stream here, so thank you all for tuning in. This has been a wild stream. Did we have 50 likes? Please tell me we did. We did! We did it. Alright, so again, thank you all for tuning in. Very much do appreciate it. We will be back later tonight if necessary. But until next time, peace. Said it way too early again, and you can't even see the piece. Balloons! I wanted to see the